Welcome back to Cloverland Farms. In this episode, we're just going to discuss about the kinds of crops that you might want to cultivate. As we have been discussing, you might decide to go into cropping, crop cultivation, and at some point you'll be asking yourself, do I do cocoa farming? Do I do plantain farming? Do I do avocado farming? Do I do, there's a lot of things that you can actually, cultivate. Okay, so in this video, we're just going to be discussing about, the idea. Like, I have watched so many videos, talking about, that cocoa farming is like a slavery farming, and there's so many people that are discouraging people online not to cultivate cocoa. I just want to bring this to the public, so that we can discuss about it. What are the best crops for you to actually change your life and make you rich. Yeah, it's good that you can do a lot of different things like avocado and so many other crops that are in the market. But I grew up, my foundation, my grandparents, they were cocoa farmers, and they were able to sustain us with this cocoa farming, despite the fact that they had a very small parcel of land. And it was just some kind of a little farm, but they were able to sustain us for our studies, for so many things that we're doing. So I getting into cocoa farming, for me, I still believe in cocoa farming, and I think that there's a future there. I believe that we Africans were doing it the wrong way. Our parents were doing just a sustainable farming, and I believe that if we get into an industrial scale, farming for cocoa, we might be able to, come out of this notion that cocoa farming is just a slavery, it's a slavery crop. And believe me or not, that's your idea, and I have my own idea. And I believe that if you do it in an industrial scale, like, you will be able to, sustain yourself there. I'm just going to put this to a test. Like, my current farm, which is 40 hectares, I will do cocoa cultivation there, and I will try other crops, no, not in that same parcel. I'll have to get like maybe 3 other lands, like maybe 20 hectares, another 20 hectares, and I'll try avocado, and then other one, I'll try some other crops, and then I will test it and see, what is the best crop. One of the things that I still believe in cocoa farming is because of the road networks that we have in back home in Cameroon, especially. I'm just going to talk about Cameroon because I know Cameroon. I just don't really understand. Like, see, I have for 40 hectares of land. If you have 40 hectares of land, and most of the time our plantains are ready in the rainy season, like, for example, from May through September. That's when we have the peak of production for a plantain production. I'm just thinking about how you can get your plantain to the market when we have really, really bad roads in our farm to market road. Our farms to market road are extremely bad, and you might just end up losing all your crops in the bush. But I think that, for example, that's my argument that I'm putting anyways forward, that if I have a cocoa farm, and in that cocoa farm I decided, say for example, I want to create a cocoa farm that will sustain myself, I might just decide to use part of my land and prepare all the cocoa until they are ready. Or some people will bring up the argument that you can still do the same with palm. For example, my idea is that if I'm doing 40 hectares of, let's say, for example, avocado, and my avocado are ready in a period where the roots are extremely bad, I might just end up losing all my crops in the bush just because of the road network. Because I'm just gonna be clear with you, like, for example, if we want to get into those kind of crops, we really need good roads. So for example, you have the market, but you can still have the market and you produce all this fancy avocado, papaya, and whatever it is, mangoes. then at the end of the day, you can't have the market. You cannot reach the market because our roads are bad. So think about it. Let's come to this argument and see which is the best. Based on the conditions of Cameroon, for example, we have bad roads. Okay, for example, I get my cocoa, harvest my cocoa, I can dry it, I can preserve it until when the roads are good, and then I transport it to the city and make my sales there. Yeah, you can still do the same with palms, right? Palms can still be another option, for we to get our product to the market, because for palms we can do the production in the market, in the farm, preserve it until when the roads are good. What do you think about avocado? What do you think about mango? What do you think about mango? What do you think about avocado? And different other fruit like oranges, lemon, and so many other things. Those are really good crops that you can actually make a lot of money from it. But my idea is, how do we get our product to the market when we don't have roots? Yeah. So I'm just putting this as a test. For example, the 40 hectares of farm that I have right now, I just want to try it and see. But I'm sure that even if I lost for the first few years, even if I make a loss, I'm sure that after my cocoa pick up, I can start getting some gain back, because I'm still very scared based on the network, based on the road. How can I get my product to the market? That's my concern. If I can get my product to the market, then I will tell you that maybe avocado is the best, or maybe mango is the best. But these are perishable product. They're perishable, and let's think about how we can, get this product. Maybe we can do some processing. Say, for example, if I have an anana plantation, and I want to, maybe have a plant in my farm where I can actually produce juice, pineapple juice, and those ones I can preserve them. I can preserve it and I take it to the market when everything is good. Think about it. That will be all for today. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and see you in my next video.